A new chapter may be opening in the long term and tense relationships between United States and Iran. But behind the headlines celebrating diplomacy, a major question remains unanswered. Who will pay the price of peace? The proposed US-Iran agreement is now facing scrutiny over reports of a possible $300 billion reconstruction package linked to Iran's economic recovery. While supporters call it the investment in regional stability, critics argue that it could be viewed as indirect compensation for years of conflict and sanctions. Now, President Donald Trump has described the emerging agreement as a major diplomatic breakthrough. The goal? Well, according to supporters, it is to reduce the tensions, to avoid another Middle East war, and then bring in Iran back into more stable economic relationships with the world. But contemplating the narratives from Washington and Tehran, they are creating uncertainty. One of the biggest questions surrounds sanction relief. Iran has long demanded the removal of economic sanctions that were heavily impacting its own economy. Now, Tehran also wants access to frozen assets that were held abroad. Meanwhile, the US officials are seeking guarantees that Iran will limit activities they consider destabilizing in the region. So, it's the demand from both ways. At the center of this debate is reported $300 billion package. Some analysts describe it as a reconstruction investment program aimed at rebuilding the infrastructure and boosting economy, while others argue that the expectation is not clearly defined. Disagreements over funding and implementation could now quickly emerge anytime soon. By the way, the regional tensions remain another major political challenge. Flashpoints across the Middle East, including conflicts involving armed groups allied with Iran, they continue to threaten the stability. Now, any new escalation could now place enormous pressure on agreement before it fully takes effect. Energy markets are also closely watching the developments. The Middle East remains critical to the global oil supplies, and any instability involving Iran or key shipping routes such as the Strait of Hormuz. Now, Hormuz could impact oil prices worldwide. We all know about it. So, experts warn that the peace agreement would not fail because they are signed, but because expectations on both sides become impossible to meet. If either Washington or Tehran feels promises they are not being honored, the fragile ceasefire could come under strain. For now, the diplomacy appears to be moving a little more forward, but history shows that agreements in the Middle East are often tested long before they are fully implemented. Now, in geopolitics, making peace is difficult, but sustaining the peace can be the hardest challenge of all.